you're watching this replay on your boy's channel. Oh, I didn't set it up yet. No, we're not live yet. We're not live yet. We're not live yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. Events, I'm gonna go. I forget with this YouTube events, you gotta actually start the encoder. Click preview. All right, I'll let you guys know. All right, it's warm. It's starting up. 8:01. 8:01. Waiting. Start the stream. Yes. All right. What is going on, everybody? If you are watching the replay on the channel, we're live. We got a fabulous trio. We got Hey Jay, RGT85, the homie Game Over Jesse. But we're gonna just chill for a little bit, about a minute. Let some dudes come into the chat, and then we'll get this thing started, man. We got 31 likes. We got 1 dislike. Who's the hater in the chat? It must be Dr. Trey. I'm joking. All right, let's go, man. Dr. Trey's the homie. All right, we're just filling up. All right, we're at 89 watching now. What's up? I got a mod in the chat. All right. Once we get to 100, then we're gonna do the intro. Oh, we're at 124. All right. So, without further ado, let me lower the music. Dudes, your boy is stepping out of his box. Not Jason and Sean. They're podcast pros. I'm a rookie, dudes. And so I'm doing this for the first time. So a couple of dudes have asked me about doing a podcast. So I said, let's try it out. So I got the homies from Nintendo Enthusiasts. They're like Voltron. They come together and just make things better. We have Hey Jay. Jason, say what's up, dude.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks again, Obi-Wan, for inviting us to your very first podcast. It's an honor to be here.
All right, we got Jason. Now, my man Sean, RGT. Tell the people what's up.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you, Obi, for letting us on this stream. Gonna have some fun tonight. Gonna talk a little Nintendo Switch and have a good time, so it should be good.
There we go. We got Sean, and last but not least, the Zelda dude. Game Over Jesse. Say what's up, my man.
What's up, everybody? Happy to be here. Talking about Nintendo. It's what I love to do, so glad to be here.
All right, and so we got the homies. By the way, Sean does the best Obi-Wan Plays impression. He can hit you with that what's going on, everybody. But without further ado, this is the very first, most epic, super crazy, delicious Nintendo podcast. Why is it delicious? We got cakes. Why is it super? We got Superman flying through the sky. And we even got fireworks. If the homies say something awesome, we got the fireworks going. What would be an Obi-Wan Plays podcast without my gifts? And so, we're gonna talk about this thing right behind me, the Nintendo Switch presentation. And so, first, I want you dudes to we're gonna go round robin. We got 4 rounds of topics. What are your overall impressions of the Nintendo Switch presentation? I'll lead the first one off, and then Jason, you'll go next, and Sean, then Game Over Jesse, then we'll just rotate. But I was hyped, especially for 2 things. We saw probably the best Zelda trailer ever, and we saw possibly the best Mario game ever. And so I even got up and started dancing once I saw Mario dancing in the trailer. Victor, thanks for subbing, my dude. And so it was good. There were a few disappointments. I would say that I was expecting a little more, at least one more big IP. My fingers were crossed for maybe for a Metroid tease or something, but I guess I wasn't as disappointed as some dudes. There's some dudes that were like, that was horrible. But Jason, what are your thoughts just on the overall presentation?
So overall presentation, and I've actually watched it twice. Watched it live with Sean, and then I watched it again on my own.
Okay.
After so many years of Nintendo Directs, it felt like a huge step back. It was very awkward.
Wow.
I mean, I did not like it, but there were some great things in there. Like the overall, when you took away all the new stuff that came out for Nintendo that day, lots of good stuff. But the way they presented it, could have been done so much better.
Let me guess. Was it the Splatoon 2? The Japanese? Yeah. I have to say this. They did slant it towards a Japanese audience. It was a little out of the Western norm. They even had, I think, one game. They presented the title in complete Japanese. They didn't even have a subtitle for it, and so it was obvious. Yeah, they were sliding it towards a Japanese audience. So I can understand. What are your thoughts, Sean?
It was pretty similar to Jason. It was definitely designed for that Japanese audience, and it was. I think if they would have done, a separate one, like one maybe for Japan, one for Europe, and one for North America, that may have been a little better with pinging into those regional differences. But yeah, I mean, Zelda, Mario looked amazing. Splatoon 2 was nice to see. Not completely sold on ARMS yet. Definitely want to see more of that. Okay. 1-2 Switch, whatever. The little sizzle reel though, that was the best part of that was one of the highlights. Okay. Where they just showed a bunch of games in a row.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That was awesome. But I mean, it could have been done better. But
could have been better. Okay. I got a follow-up question for all you dudes after Jesse. Jesse, your thoughts on the presentation, my dude?
I think I'm actually on the opposite mind.
Okay. Jesse was hyped.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job trying to tackle that casual market that they lost with the Wii U. Okay. That they had all this momentum with the Wii, and with the Wii U they just kind of lost it. So then we've seen games like 1-2 Switch and Snipper Clips or whatever it was that looked more like they were aiming towards that casual audience again. But then they also had Splatoon, Mario Kart, Zelda, and all these other hardcore games for the hardcore gamers. Okay. So I think they were just trying to tackle both audiences. And with us, or the majority of us being the hardcore gamers, we really weren't that shocked and awed by 1-2 Switch. It wasn't exciting for us.
Milking the cows.
Yeah, and in the same way, if they would have came out and been like Metroid, Star Fox, announcing all of their top tier games, a lot of the people, like the casual gamers, would have just looked at it like, well, I don't really want to play that, or I already play Call of Duty as a shooter or something like that. So
okay.
Oh, did we lose him?
Jesse, you got disconnected, my dude. Sean, you still here, right? Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh no. Yep. Well, Jason, this is what I need you to see if you can get Jesse back in. But we're gonna keep the ball rolling. We live, dude. So
yeah.
So it's not my internet. It's Jesse's. It's on Jesse's end.
Yeah,
I got a follow-up question for you dudes too. Since you dudes were a little not too. When he got disconnected, it shifted the screen caps too.
Oh no! Learning on the live. It's part of the podcast fun.
Hey, it's all good. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna screen cap you guys the whole Skype thing. Hold on, dudes. Slight technical difficulty. We lost Jesse. Jesse went MIA. But your boy, I gotta put Sean and Jason back in. Oh, now Jason is gone.
No, I'm here.
Oh no, he's here. Yep. Oh, there we go.
There
we go. All right. So I got Sean and Jason right below me now, dudes. All right.
Good place to be.
So, Sean and Jason, I got a follow-up question for you dudes on the presentation. Best moment, worst moment.
Best moment's easy. Oh, yeah, best moment, Super Mario Odyssey reveal. Like,
Odyssey, okay. Worst
best moment. Probably the translator of, you know the scene I'm
how your
talking
boy
about.
was messing up Suda's hype?
Yeah, he wasn't able to keep up with his odd, I guess, Japanese dialect or expressions. So
Okay.
that's my choice.
Sean, best moment of the presentation, worst moment of the presentation.
I would say the Super Mario Odyssey reveal as well, just because I like when you saw that city, you were like, okay, what are they doing? Because I know they're not going to do Mario, and then Mario came up, and you were like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was happy with that. Go ahead.
I would say the worst moment, probably for me, was just how much time they spent talking about the Joy-Cons. Like, I understood it after like 5 minutes. I didn't need 15 minutes.
Okay. You are feeling the ice cube shakes?
I mean, you know.
Oh, I can.
That's something you need to really hold in your hand, you know, to get that feeling. And the fact that you know they were just talking about it was tough. You know, it's tough to get into it.
I feel you, dude.
Hey, okay.
Go ahead.
Do you know you still have a lot of music, eh?
What you say?
I don't know. Your music is still playing, eh? Some people in the chat are saying the music's too loud.
It's too loud? Okay, let me turn it down. I'll turn it down. Testing 1, 2. All right, I get it right now.
Yeah.
The music is gone. All right, I hope you guys can hear me fine. So, you were talking about you needed to hands-on experience the Joy-Cons. Speaking of hands-on, I heard Jason played the Switch. Jason, what did the Joy-Cons feel like, dude?
They felt.
How was the HD Rumble? Is it the real deal, or is it?
The HD Rumble is probably the biggest takeaway from those Joy-Cons. They are incredible.
Oh yeah.
Like I milked the cow. That's a poor demo. But the best one is you've got there's a mini game in 1-2 Switch where you hold a box and you have to guess how many marbles are in the box, and you're holding the Joy-Con and you're kind of like moving it around, and dude, it feels like there's marbles inside the Joy-Con controller.
Wow.
And that's all done through vibrations, but it literally feels like you've got balls moving around your Joy-Con. Well, that sounds terrible.
But the 1-2 Switch. All right, we got Jesse back. Let me.
Yeah, guys. Don't know what happened.
I gotta do the screen cap again. You boys keeping me on my toes today.
Yeah, sorry about that. The electricity just kind of shut off here. Like, I don't know if it was a power outage somewhere or a snowstorm or what.
I got it. All right, we're back good, boys. All right, we're good. We're good. What were you saying, Jason?
Balls in the Joy-Con. So yeah. So like to this day, all of the controllers we've ever held, in the past decade or two in gaming has always been just your controller just shaking, giving you that vibration. Even on like tablets, you get the haptic feedback, but nothing compares to HD Rumble where it feels like there's something inside your controller. Wow. And you could simulate a bug moving around in there. I don't quite know what you could do with it, but it's different. Like, there's no other technology like this right now in the market that I've seen.
That's why I can't wait to just get my hands on it and feel it for myself, man. Like Sean said, I think that's something you got to really feel, to experience. All right, let's go on. Next up, let's talk about day one launch lineup. First, I want to ask you dudes, were you guys hyped enough to pre-order the Switch day one, or are you waiting? I'm going to go, Jason, are you waiting for the Switch, or did you get it day one?
It's pre-ordered.
Pre-ordered? Okay. How about you, Sean?
I did it the second Best Buy's pre-orders went up that night.
Hey, I'm right there with you, man. I went to Best Buy. I went to Best Buy and got mine. How about you, Jesse?
I pre-ordered the Switch and Breath of the Wild on Amazon, and for the beginning of the Switch's first month, I think Breath of the Wild's really the only game that I need. If they have a good selection of virtual console titles, then I can't see myself getting anything else. So
okay. Yeah, and so really you just Jesse, you said that Breath of the Wild is good enough for a whole month for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about the launch? So what are your thoughts on the overall lineup, Jesse? You're cool with just having Zelda's good enough? And you're good to go with Zelda. Are you going to pick up Bomberman or any other games? I am Setsuno.
Bomberman looks good. I think if I do end up picking anything up, it'll be some of the classic games that pop up on the eShop or the Virtual Console. They haven't really talked about that, but Breath of the Wild, it's the one big game for me. And if I need to put it down to kind of fresh myself up, then I think Super Mario or some of the classic games would be able to do it.
I feel you, dude. Especially with the eShop. Nintendo has to have a Nintendo Direct before the Switch launches. They need to have something else. Because they haven't talked about the eShop. What games are going to be on the eShop when the Switch launches? Because we know we're going to be able to digitally download games. And so, I don't know, man. Jason, what are your thoughts on the launch lineup?
For me, like the day one launch lineup, all I need is Zelda. I'm with Jesse with that. Like I've been avoiding everything outside the 3 trailers for Zelda. I just want to dive into that and lose myself for a few months. That's all I need. I feel that the launch lineup does have a good variety. Like it's touching a lot of different areas to kind of
Just Dance.
Different audience.
Yeah. Just Dance. You got different genres.
You got Just Dance. You got Skylanders, but you got more of that retro crowd too, with Bomberman, and which Sean will probably talk more about.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Bomberman, Sean?
Man, Bomberman was a no-brainer for me.
Okay.
I mean, you haven't seen Bomberman in a long time, nearly over 10 years. It's a full-fledged game. It's awesome. I'm super stoked for it. Yeah. Of course, Zelda. There's actually a decent amount of digital games that are starting to get announced. Like I Am Setsuna.
Oh, I'm hyped for I Am Setsuna, my man.
Right? Like I've heard good things about it. It's got that exclusive PvP mode for the Switch.
Yeah.
World of Goo is coming to the Switch on day one. Yeah. What was that? Human Resource.
What are they? There's 3 from that developer.
Yeah, 3
Human
from that
Factory,
developer.
Okay.
The fire one.
But
I mean, overall, like it's fine. Like people are making it out to be, a real soft lineup. But the reason it looks soft is because there's no like just rushed third-party ports, because it doesn't make sense to do that. Third parties tried that on the Wii U. When the Wii U first came out, they released a bunch of late ports for full price. Meanwhile, they were cheaper on the 360. I mean, Mass Effect 3 came out on the Wii U the same day that the Mass Effect trilogy came out for the PS3 and Xbox 360 for the same price. So who was going to buy that?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
It was crazy, but all in all, like I'm happy. You ain't gonna buy every game anyways. Money don't grow on trees.
That's right. Yeah. I feel you, dude. Dude, I have to tell you guys, I've never played a Bomberman game in my whole life, but I am gonna be picking up this game. I have heard some dudes talking about the frame rate isn't the best, but it's a Bomberman game. For me, it's not a huge AAA game, so I'm going in it, just gonna have some fun and enjoy it. But I'm cool with the launch lineup. I think as long as Nintendo just paces the big games, we'll be good. We have Zelda right at launch. I think Mario Kart and ARMS about a month later. Then Splatoon in the summer. Mario Odyssey in the fall. They just space it out. I think we'll be good to go, man. Zelda alone.
You got some Xenoblade 2 in there somewhere.
That's right. X2 is coming out sometime 2017, and so I think we're not giving Nintendo enough credit with the lineup that they're giving us for the entire year. The day one is a little slim, but we got Zelda, like Jesse said. We got Zelda, and so that should keep us busy. Jason, did I ask you about the launch lineup? I already talked to you about it. Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you, man. All right. The price of the system, $300. Sean, too much, just right, or Nintendo should have charged us $350, $399.
I mean, I think it's good. Anything over 300 was going to be too much. 250 was what I was hoping for. But the thing of it is, when you look at the Switch coming out at $300, everyone's saying, oh, you could buy this for this price. You could buy this for this price. Right. But when that system first came out, it was not $300. It's statistically one of the cheapest systems at launch ever. And it has nowhere to go but lower in price. So I think it's fine. I mean, for what it does, for being able to take the hardware anywhere. The hardware is what's going to sell the system. So I think it's fine.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And you made a real good point, man. We're comparing to the PlayStation is, you could get it for $250, I think, during Black Friday now, but it launched at $400, and so Nintendo still is coming in at a lower price than the competition when they launched. So yeah, I haven't even thought about that, dude. Jesse, thoughts about the launch lineup?
Yeah, I think the launch lineup, as you mentioned earlier, I think they have this thing kind of planned out to where we get Zelda at first. The month after that, we have Mario Kart 8. We have Splatoon somewhere in there as well. We have Mario towards the end of the year, the holiday season. And then 2-3 months after the Switch actually comes out, we're going to have E3. So there's going to be a bunch of other announcements as well. Not just from Nintendo, but third parties. We have Ukulele coming to the Switch, which is a lot of people are hyped for.
Yeah.
So I think Nintendo's done a great job of spacing out all of the games for the Switch, because if Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, Mario Kart 8, all these games came out on the same launch day, then you'd be going in spending maybe enough to get 2 or 3 games, and then the rest of the games would just kind of sit there until they got cheaper, and then you'd end up buying them. So Nintendo has done a really smart thing of spacing everything out. That way, some of the games aren't missing out on some of the sales that it could potentially have.
Yeah, you're right. You got to space it out. Because before the Switch was coming out, the rumor was Zelda and Mario might be at launch, and I was like, no way Nintendo is going to do that. They're just eating into each other's sales, and so, Nintendo need to just space it out, man. Jason.
Yep.
Launch lineup.
I
mean, the price.
The price.
Jesse, did you talk about, was the price fine for you, Jesse?
Oh no, you asked me about the lineup. I thought the price was great. I believe the Wii U launched at like $350 for the bundle and $300 for the normal console.
And it stayed at $350 for a long time.
Yep. And with the Switch, it's more powerful than the Wii U was. Plus, you don't have to stay within 10 feet of the Wii U console. You can just take it with you. So I think it's a great deal, especially now that, right now, all of the Wii U games or the home console games are being worked on for the Switch. But once the 3DS kind of expires, you're going to have the home console games and the games that they would end up putting on the handheld consoles on the same thing. So you'd get games like Breath of the Wild and A Link Between Worlds on the same device.
Yeah, you're right. You mentioned the 3DS. How long do you think the 3DS is going to last?
Year or two.
What'd you say, Jason?
A year or two.
Okay.
It depends how Nintendo's going to play, because I see the Switch being geared as the portable unit for adults, whereas the 3DS could kind of be the more durable portable that you can buy for your kids.
Yeah, that is a possibility. But my gut is, once that Switch starts to take off, 3DS is going to slowly fade away into oblivion. But
it kind of reminds me of how after the 3DS came out, they still released Pokemon Black and White 2 on the regular DS, just because it had more units. So instead of making it look visually better and pushing the 3DS, they seen, the DS already has these millions and millions of units out there. Let's just put it on there and get that last bit of DS money before we go all in on the 3DS. So I think the last time you'll hear about 3DS games will be at this year's E3. There might be like 2 or 3, maybe, if that many. And next year, you'll hear absolutely nothing about the 3DS, I believe.
All right. Sean, any thoughts on the 3DS?
3DS is dead in 2018.
Give it a year.
I mean, they'll do their thing. You might hear about some, at E3, you'll probably hear about some, fall, winter, spring titles, spring 2018, and then that's it. It's done.
But Nintendo said it was their third pillar, the Switch.
They said a lot of things.
They also said that the Wii U was a part of that.
Yeah, I believe they said the exact same thing whenever they first launched the DS, that it was going to be the third pillar.
They did. And they killed the Game Boy.
Pillars are flimsy.
There was some shaky pillars. I didn't ask one dude about the price. Jason, I think it was you.
It was me.
What are your thoughts
I have a
on
very
the price,
interesting
my man?
perspective.
Okay.
So I live in Canada.
Oh, so everything costs more in Canada.
Yeah, so shout outs to any Canadian in the chat. But so here's the thing. When the Wii U came out, the Canadian dollar was equal to the American dollar. So if it was $3.50 in the US, it was $3.50 in Canada. So I paid $3.50 for my Wii U. The Switch here in Canada, after tax and everything, you're looking at almost $500 without a game or anything. It's like 400 something plus tax.
That's crazy.
And you know, you look at the US again. I think your 3DS is 200, a new 3DS.
Yeah.
And the Switch at 300. Like, yeah, okay, that's good. Here in Canada, our new 3DSs are 230, and then you're looking at the Switch, almost double the price.
Wow.
So in the US, I think Nintendo, you know, it's not a great price. 250 would have been better, but 300, you know, they're pushing the limit, but it's still okay.
Yeah.
But then once you even we have a writer in the UK, and he's like, the Switch is the most expensive thing here by far. So it's coming easy with no games or anything. It's a tough sell.
Wow. I didn't realize it was so much higher in Canada. I didn't even check the Canadian conversion price.
Yeah. And people say, no, it makes sense because that's just the worth of the dollar. But when you consider that, like, we bought the Wii U in our own money at $3.50, and now the Switch is like more than the Wii U.
Yeah. To you guys, you're like, whoa, what's going on? Wow, dude.
Yeah. That's kind of insane. I've never thought about the difference in value between Canada and the US. You always hear about video games and software in Australia being super expensive, but I never really thought about it in Canada.
Yeah, I did have a sub in one of my comment section recently from Australia. He was raging about the price of the Switch. I was like, whoa, dude. Yeah, man. But you know what? With me and the price, like you said, Sean, ideally, I would have loved it to be at $250, but when I consider all of the tech that's in this, I mean, we have almost a small tablet device that's more powerful than a Wii U. And plus, with all of the HD rumble and just everything that Nintendo managed to cram into that device, it's almost getting two consoles in one. And so I'm not going to complain too much about the price. I would have loved for it to be $250. That's what I kept clamoring for, hoping it was $250. But as long as when I feel it, it's a quality product. And from everyone who's played it so far, they've said that it feels like a well-built product. So, all right.
Or the game, it hurts a little less if you throw in a game in there.
Yeah. 1-2 Switch. And I should. Oh, speaking of price, did any of you dudes get 1-2 Switch?
No.
I'm the only one that'll be streaming the Milk Cow game.
I'm probably going to buy it, but I'm not pre-ordering that.
All right, dudes, y'all heard that. It's going to be an Obi-Wan Plays exclusive. Cow milk.
Yeah, that game's going to be crazy to stream as well because a lot of the games on it, like they made a big deal about you don't even need to look at the screen. You just mess with the Joy-Cons. So that'll be insane soon.
Yeah, you're going to need 2 people to stream it. And so I can imagine you dudes are thinking 1-2 Switch should have been a packet or free or something.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, from what they've shown like 3 mini games, and then from what I've heard here, our buddy Rerez said he pre-ordered and it was like $60. Like, what? What?
Yeah,
yeah.
Because I pre-ordered it. I got it, man.
That price? $60?
I think it was 50 or 60. One of them.
Damn,
I got it. I got a wife and kids, and so I'm gonna play it with the family, man.
Like, Nintendo Land is cheaper than that. Even Wii Party came bundled with a whole Wiimote, but this is just here, milk a cow, $60.
Well,
Get the experience.
Nintendo Land was bundled with the Wii U, so. Yeah.
But you could buy it after for $30.
Oh yeah.
After.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, but yeah. Now, I think it's too expensive. I don't think the game is gonna sell well. That's a game. Whenever I see that game, I think of college dorm rooms and college students. I don't see that grandma's playing that game. So who knows if Nintendo distributes it to different universities, and I don't think the game is going to sell well. I think it's too costly, but time will tell. So I want to, last but not least, the online subscription service. And what we're going to also do, I'm going to leave some time for the chat to interact with us. But the online services, Nintendo is saying it's going to be first, the free at launch paid subscription. This is sort of two parts. What do you guys feel about it being Nintendo finally charging us, going the route of Sony and Microsoft? I'm gonna go with Sean. You tackle it.
I mean, as long as the features match the price, then it's fine. You know, the Wii and the Wii U Online was, especially the Wii, but the Wii U Online wasn't really much better than what the Wii had. I mean, there was connection issues. You had some games where, you know, player versus player connection. Some games were, you know, centralized connection. And while games like Mario Kart 8, you know, ran good online, there was a bunch of features missing. So as long as they add a feature set, you know, basic things, voice chat, parties, stuff like that, then it's fine to charge for it, because, you know, that stuff does cost money, you know. So I'm fine with it. I do hope it's a little bit cheaper than what the competition has. I think that could be a definite bonus. And yeah, I mean, we still need a lot more information before we can either, you know, say it's the worst thing ever. So
now, is Sony and my I have my PlayStation Plus service. Is it $60 for the year still? I don't even know. It's $60. I think Microsoft is the same, right? Around 60 for the year.
Microsoft is 50, I believe, 50? And the PS4 is 60.
Okay. I know it's more expensive if you do it monthly, but if you do it for the year, it's a little cheaper. Okay. All right, Jason, you cool with Nintendo digging in your pockets to play Mario Kart Online?
I'm not sure. One, we don't know enough about their online service, and that's one thing I didn't like about the presentation, is they left just enough to let the internet bash them, because there's so little that we know. We don't know the price, we don't know what the features are, we don't even know the detail of the game. People are like, oh, they're going to give you a game and take it away after a month. Like, what business would do that? Come on. The wording is very poorly done on the site, but it doesn't confirm anything. There's so much that they can do right, and like, if they come in and they're like, hey, it's $5 to play Mario Kart, and like, you get all these extra service, like, we don't know the price. So how can you weigh the value if you don't know the price?
And
that said,
go ahead, Jason. No, go ahead.
That said, I've never paid for online service, like for my Xbox, for my PlayStation. Like, if I want, I'm spoiled. Like, I just go on my PC if I want to play online. I have a lot of troubles paying for an online service. But Nintendo might be the first one to convince me, because if they do it right, you know,
you'll be on board. Okay, because you hit on something, dude. This is what I didn't get when they were doing the presentation. They were like telling us you gotta pay, but they didn't tell us why we should pay. Like, they didn't give us any incentive. It's like they were just showing the negative aspects of it. We're gonna charge you guys, but tell us what we're gonna get when you charge us. And so I didn't get why they were doing that. But I hear you, dude. Jesse, what are your thoughts on paying online for to play Nintendo?
I have differing thoughts on this, because at first you think about it and it's like, okay, maybe if they're charging for it, that'll make them motivated to actually have better structure online with better servers and actually put real multiplayer into games. Instead of having couch co-op with every Mario game, maybe they release the next Mario game or Mario Party, whatever, and it has actual online. Maybe they'll have more incentive to actually build online functionality into these games if they're charging us for it. But with that said, I don't like, there's Zelda, and I don't even know what else. Like, what games are coming out on launch day that are going to have a robust online multiplayer? Because I don't think you'll get that until Splatoon or Mario Kart 8, and I don't think those come until like a month or two after the console launches. So even if you
got Bomberman.
Well, yeah, but I mean, is online.
Oh yeah, that's the whole drawing point, because you can play it online. That's what makes it
great. I didn't know that, dude.
In comparison, if you go with like Sony or Microsoft, you have like all of the third-party games plus all of the first-party games that all have online features. You don't want to pay the same price, or probably even half that price, for online with Nintendo for the first few months or whatever, while there's only 2 or 3 good online games to choose from. Which, to counter that, Nintendo did say that for the first few months it was going to be free, and then later on they'll start charging you. So I think that makes sense because by that time, maybe E3 would have already came. They'll have Mario Kart 8 out. They'll have Splatoon out. Yeah. Maybe they announce Smash Brothers, which is the big online game for Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then once they announce Smash Brothers and you have to pay to play online, that's when they're going to be bringing in all that money. Yeah. And then the last thing is whenever Microsoft announced the Xbox One, there was a lot of negative feedback that they got, and they actually changed how some of the features worked with the Xbox One.
Okay.
So even if Nintendo's thought is you're going to pay to get this game and then we're going to take it back at the end of the month, whereas Microsoft PlayStation lets you keep it, maybe if they get enough fan feedback, then they'll change some of the marketing strategies that they have. Okay. So, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Now, what do you guys think is the logic of Nintendo only giving us a game for a month? I have my thoughts on it, but why Nintendo? Why?
Well, hasn't there been conflicting stuff on that though?
Go ahead.
Because I think at first that's the way it was worded, but I've heard things since then that it's actually not the case, that you actually keep it as long as you keep the service, like
Sony.
Yeah, so once again, this goes into the whole Nintendo needs to clarify the online stuff because it's all a guessing game right now. So I think once that happens, a lot of questions will be answered, and we'll all be able to gauge, if in the fall this service will be worth it, and hopefully it will be.
Yeah. Right. I feel you. And to what's real cool about these free retro games that we're getting, they're gonna have online. And so that's pretty cool, man. Like Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, we can play online and things like that. So that's cool. This is my rationale with Nintendo doing it for a month. If it is just for a month, this is my rationale. And I think I might have shared this before. That to get more, if we do it for a month and they're having online, more people will be able to play together online. Whereas if they have the online feature, let's say 3 months down the road, the lobbies are going to be empty. And so I think they're just trying to build a community for that month. And also possibly market the game. Hey, I got it free for a month. August is done. You know what? I want to pick up this game. And so I think Nintendo's probably trying to do that under the table as well. But go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, I had a theory, but I think it's too smart for Nintendo to do. Like,
you said it's too smart.
if they did do this thing where it's like, here's a game, we're gonna take it away, but it's a retro game with online. Like, if they made a tournament, imagine you have a tournament, an annual tournament, broken down with like every month counts as a season, similar to Hearthstone if anybody plays Hearthstone. Okay. But you're ranked on that retro game. Sean doesn't like this idea apparently, but I think that would be awesome. Like almost like the Nintendo World Championships. But now, like, you do it through the Switch, and it's like, here's the game of the month. Let's see how you rank with that. And you score points against your account, and then you can see how you rank as the Nintendo gamer in the world.
That'll be pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that actually is a great idea.
But you say it's too good to be true for Nintendo to pull off something like that.
Yeah. So here's a quick question, kind of goes with this.
Go ahead, Jesse.
If they're going to be adding online capabilities to these old retro games, specifically, I heard them say Super Nintendo. I don't know if they mentioned NES or even N64. Do you guys know if it's just the SNES or is it other consoles as well?
Again, they haven't clarified.
All right. So let's just say that for now it is just Super Nintendo.
I did hear NES and Super Nintendo. I don't know why that came in my head, but go ahead.
All right. So let's just say that, okay, it's the NES and the Super Nintendo. What all games had fun co-op? Because if you think about some of the larger games, it's like Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Metroid, all these first-party games that didn't really have multiplayer until like Mario Kart or something like that came along. So if they have like a limited amount of games they could actually add multiplayer to.
Well, the NES more so because I mean that was just hardware limitations. I mean you have games like Double Dragon 2, River City Ransom, but those games were pretty few and far between. I remember on the Wii. Capcom actually re-released all three of the or three of, because there was actually four, three of the Street Fighter games, and for Super Nintendo, and they put online play with that. It was very basic. It was just, you know, you could input a friend code, or you could just do a random search and play with someone. So I think the Super Nintendo would benefit more. But you are right that the amount of games is pretty limited because it just wasn't, you know, a huge thing at that time.
Yeah, you're right. Sean, you mentioned Street Fighter, my man. Share what you shared, that post. You know what I'm talking about on Street Fighter. What's the deal with? I know dudes are upset about we getting Street Fighter 2.
Dudes are upset that we're getting.
Wait, hold on, Sean. Hold on, before you, just in case you start.
I'll keep it clean. I'll keep it clean.
I got the pony right in front of you, just in case.
I mean, people are upset. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, we should have gotten Street Fighter 5 or whatever." Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers, is a great game. First off, it's based off of the best fighting game ever. Period. Bar none. The whole game has been rebalanced. Yeah. The whole game has had a visual overhaul. Yes, something similar released on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, but this is different. This has new modes. This has online multiplayer. This has 2 new exclusive characters. This has newly redone animations. Jason actually played it today, and Jason can actually continue what I was saying. Yeah. Jason?
What?
You played Street Fighter, Jason?
I used to play it as a kid on the Genesis, yeah. I liked what I played today, actually, and this is probably what Sean was suggesting. The people there did say that it was completely built from the ground up for the Switch.
They did say that in the Treehouse thing, too. Yeah.
As well, yeah. So, I mean, it plays exactly like the old school Street Fighter 2. The game looks amazing. Like, the hand-drawn characters. I was like just staring at that. I love the art style, and you can play in classic, like the pixelated view if you prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got your 2 new characters, and I was like, oh, is this what plays into the campaign? They suggested that yes. Yeah. We also have that teaser in the trailer of a 3D mode Hadouken, which nobody knows. First person.
I did hear somebody mention that.
It's right at the end of the trailer, and nobody has commented on what that is.
Oh. Interesting. That's interesting.
Honestly, I'm actually hyped for Street Fighter 2, like to play online.
I am, dude. I'm hyped for the game. How many characters launched with Street Fighter 5? Did anybody know?
I mean, and that's another thing. Like, you're getting a so much more complete package than you got for Street Fighter 5 day one. Like, even if you compare it now, it's like, okay, there's, you know, where's the arcade mode? Like, it's just, it's silly. People think that newer equals better, and that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, you're right, dude. Now, before we get off on the online features of the Switch, are any of you dudes big on achievements, Jason?
I love them.
You okay?
I'm a bit of addicted to them. Yes.
Okay. So you want some on the Switch?
I would love account level achievements.
Yeah, I feel you, dude.
They need it. They're the last ones. Like the whole gaming industry as a whole has adapted achievements. You find them everywhere.
Apple has achievements.
Right, Google, even your Google like mobile game, Google Play has achievements.
Yeah.
Even Nintendo games have achievements now. There's just none on the account
level.
Which
Smash Brothers has all those trophies.
Yeah. How about you, Sean?
I don't care.
Sean is old school, man. Sean's like, whatever, dude. Just give me Sonic on the Genesis. Jesse, what about you, dude?
I would love if they added to it. One thing that I think about is they released these NES remix games with certain challenges that you have to do in order to beat certain modes. Yeah. So they could add these trophies in and basically create an NES remix or whatever out of an old game by adding these trophies that you get, because they could have a trophy for what each of these challenges could potentially be. And then it would give people like playing Zelda, collecting all the heart pieces or whatever collectible items there are in Mario, beating a level in a certain amount of time without dying. Like, it gives more incentive to go back and replay all these stuff. That way, instead of beating a game like Super Mario 3D World and then taking it to GameStop, maybe they'll hold on to it and keep it. That way they can keep trying to get the high score, get all the trophies or whatever they're going to call it.
Yes, dude. And just think, man, I'm big on achievements, dudes. We need to have achievements. If Nintendo does not have achievements, I'm going on a Nintendo strike. I'm going to play nothing but Sony for a month on my channel. No, I'm not.
Dude, do you know how sad it is that we don't have achievements? When I complete like a game that I consider 100%, like let's say the Zelda, you know how like some save files it'll show like your progress, like in dare I say Metroid Other M or anything that has like a percentage. When I complete it, I take a picture of it and I put it like in an album on my Facebook account because there's no other way for me to be like, I did it, guys. I beat this game. I'm just like by myself. So
Dude, when you said that, I thought about Mario Galaxy on my Wii. Mario Galaxy on my Wii was my favorite my favorite game on the Wii, period. I 100% beat that game. Got every purple coin challenge, the comet challenge. And so I was like, yes, this is it. I beat it. And then the last screen was just like a screenshot that said, thank you. I felt like Nintendo just slapped me in my face, man. All that hard work, and I just get a Mario, thank you. We need achievements. Just
the achievements, since they're going back and kind of rebuilding some of these games to add in the online functionality, it would make sense to go ahead and add in the achievements while they're reworking on some of these classic games. So yeah.
Two things why I think we need achievements. One, I think it'll give some gamers incentive to pick up games, man. Just think going back and playing, because I know we all probably downloaded Super Mario 3 2 or 3 times already. And so on the Switch, why download it again? I already have the game. Because this time it has achievements that I could permanently keep attached to my Nintendo Network ID, and it keeps you within the Nintendo ecosystem. Nintendo consoles, generation after generation, they've been selling worse, their home consoles. And part of the reasons a lot of gamers are loyal to Xbox because they have their gamer score. And so if all things are equal on a multi-platform game, if I'm going to get points on the console that I like, I'll pick up the game on that platform. And so I think Nintendo just needs to get with the program, man. Get them achievements, Nintendo. We want achievements. Everyone wants achievements except for Sean. Make it happen, Nintendo. But
wasn't there like
go ahead.
Quote from years ago?
What you say?
They say like, "Oh, we don't think gamers like achievements or something." Am I misquoting, Sean? Do you recall Reggie? Was it on achievements or was it?
Oh
no, I think it was on. I think it was on Let's Plays. He commented like, "Oh, people don't like watching other people play."
Yeah, something weird like that.
We can even get to Nintendo's YouTube policies, but that's a whole other. That'll be another hour. But we are close to the 50-minute mark. I wanted to give the last 10 minutes to get a couple of questions from the chat. And so, dudes, in the chat, what questions do you have for Jay, RGT, Jesse? I'm going to take some questions in the chat, and if you dudes see any questions, let me know. And there's about a 20-second delay.
All right.
My man Gyro said, "What's up? What's up, boy?" Type your questions away. We'll take a couple of questions before we close out. All right.
Want to hear about Splatoon 2?
What'd you say, Jason?
Hear about Splatoon 2?
Oh, Splatoon! Oh, wait. While we're waiting on a question, Jason, my man Jason played that Switch, man. Jason,
great.
What are your impressions on the Switch? I know you're gonna probably have something on your channel, Nintendo Enthusiasts, and probably your own channel. But what are your wait? All right, wait. But Jason, we'll get to you at the end. Let's get the questions.
No problem. Yeah, for sure. Get the questions in.
What is your most hyped game of this year? From Just David. First you. We'll go Jesse. You first.
Most hyped game of the year?
Yeah.
I think that's obviously Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Okay. All right.
Like it was the only game Nintendo took to E3, and one of the only games, and it won almost everybody's game of the show, and it releases this year. So
you're a Zelda dude, so you're a little skewed.
Yeah. Other than that, I am excited for ukulele.
Okay, ukulele. Okay, you forgot about Mario. But Jay, go ahead, Jay.
For me, it's Breath of the Wild. I look at that trailer every time and get so many goosebumps. I need to just inject it right into my being.
Okay, you said Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 2 Zeldas. Sean.
I'm going with Mario, man. Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
That was yeah. That's the game right
Perfect
there. Like Zelda's gonna be great.
The trailer's playing in the stream. Perfect timing, my dude. Go ahead.
I mean, Zelda's gonna be great, but Zelda was created with the Wii U in mind. Okay. Mario has no Wii U ties. This is all just pure Switch.
Yeah, ground up from the Switch. Yeah, that's a good one too. And really, I go back and forth between those two, man. It's like picking peanut butter and jelly, man. I can't pick. Someone asks, Loic Garrett's, probably a European dude. Thoughts on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on X2? Jason, any thoughts on that game?
On X2?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I like that they're kind of going to a more, I don't know, it felt like Xenoblade Chronicle, it's Chronicle that on the Wii U, it's called Chronicles X, right? I always get confused with the X3.
I get confused too, man.
Like that one was kind of different, from the Xenoblade on the Wii, and I feel that this one
I never played it on the Wii.
Kind of goes.
Go ahead.
Oh, you haven't? No. Okay, so it feels a little bit more. I mean, we didn't see much. The art style is a little bit more toony, but I like that it's Xenoblade 2, not Xenoblade some other strange word after it. So. Yeah. I'm curious. I haven't seen enough quite to be like excited for it, but I'm curious. So show me more.
Okay. All right. Good stuff, man. Sean, any impressions with the game?
Yeah, it ain't coming out in 2017. I'll tell you that.
Oh, you already calling it's going to be delayed?
That's 2018, the soonest, buddy. There's no way that game comes out. It looks great though. It does look a lot like the original Xenoblade. It has that different art style than on the Wii U, and definitely interested to see more from it. But yeah, it ain't coming out this year.
it ain't happening. Jesse, any thoughts on that game, man?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that they already showed it off, considering Aonuma or Miyamoto, one of the two, mentioned that they pulled the team that worked on Xenoblade to kind of help get Breath of the Wild along. Okay. So seeing that the team was split up, or most of them was taken over to Breath of the Wild for a short period of time, it's great to see that whoever stayed to work on Xenoblade 2 was able to get enough work done to where they had a trailer that they could show off and be proud of it and not feel like they need to keep it under wraps a bit longer. Okay. But again, I don't really see it coming out this year, but it's always a possibility.
Yeah. I'm hoping that'll be our October surprise. So I still hoping for 2017. But the game looked epic, man. I like Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii U. I never played the original on the Wii, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm an RPG dude. All right, we got a couple of questions. Let's do these in one word. Just one quick response. Jason, what HD remaster would you like to see on the Switch? What game?
Oh, man.
You don't have to tell me why, just the name of the title, so I can get a couple in.
HD remake.
Think about it, dude.
Mario Sunshine.
You stole my answer. That was mine. Mario Sunshine. That was mine. RGT, what about you, dude?
Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube?
Yep.
Oh, it was good. It was short, but it was good. Jesse?
I would really like to see either Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask in HD. We got the 3D remake, but 3DS is very limited in what it's capable of doing. So building it from the ground up for the Switch and something like Unreal Engine 4
One word, Jesse. One word,
Jesse. Sorry.
But I feel you, dude.
Sorry.
Ocarina of Time is my jam. I think that's going to happen. That has to happen. I really didn't like Majora's Mask, dudes. I didn't like it. I know there's going to be rage in the chat. Go ahead. Go
an
ahead,
interesting
Jesse.
thing to note, next year will be the 20th anniversary, so it would be a perfect time for an HD remake of Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah, you're right. All right. Another one word or one comment. When do you think Smash is coming on the Switch? Jesse, this is going to be we're going to take one more question after this one.
All right, July.
You said July? Okay.
Yep.
How about you, Jason?
Spring 2018.
2018, Sean.
Summer 2018.
Summer 2018. Your boys, make sure you bookmark this timestamp in the stream, and we'll come back and see if these dudes were right with that smash. All right, we're going to take one more question from the homie Lit Burlocker, and then I'm going to give the dudes opportunity to let you guys know where you can find these dudes. But Lit Burlocker is asking, what do you think will be the Switch's biggest system seller? Could be one revealed already or not. Maybe the Switch has something up their sleeves. What do you think will be the Switch's biggest system seller? I'm not going to call in names. Who wants to tackle this one first? Go ahead.
I got it.
Go ahead.
It's Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey. If it comes out this holiday, if they bundle it in for $300 with the system, it's going to be the highest selling game overall on the Switch, and it'll move so many units, it'll be mind blowing. Super Mario Odyssey is the game.
Okay. Okay. All right. So he picked Super Mario Odyssey, and you can choose a game or maybe just a feature of the system, either one. But that's a good answer, dude. That Mario Odyssey. Jason, Jesse, which one? Any of you dudes can go.
Oh, sorry. You can go, Jason.
Go ahead, Jason.
I'll put money on Mario Odyssey, hands down.
Okay,
it's
Mario
easy.
Odyssey. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Jesse?
Just to be a little bit different, I'm gonna say the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because
Mario Kart 8
did amazingly on the Wii U, and the Wii U didn't nearly have any consoles sold, but the game still sold a ton.
Wow.
So to see what it could potentially do on a console with a new fresh start, I see it being one of the
That's a
highest
good perspective, dude. I haven't even thought about that. I'm thinking of just myself because I already played Mario Kart 8, been there, done that. But you're right, dude. Mario Kart on the Wii, I think, sold over 30 million. And so Mario Kart Deluxe, on a fresh system, a fresh start. Who knows, dude? It could be the Switch's sleeper hit. All right, dudes. Thank you, dudes, for hanging out. We have over 300 concurrent watchers. That's awesome. First up, hey Jay, Jason.
Hey.
Tell us about yourself, your 2 channels, how we can check you out, my dude.
All right, so if you want to see more Nintendo stuff, I suggest you check out my content, Nintendo Enthusiasts. There's a lot of videos from timeless stuff like the Wii 100 if you want 100 game recommendations for the Wii. Cool. There's a documentary on the history of Nintendo at E3. And I'm there with Sean every Sunday on a podcast we call Class vs. Crass. That's where we invited there's an episode there with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And
that's why I got you guys on. You guys reached out to me, so I'm returning the favor, man. But go ahead.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then over on Hey Jay, that's a recent channel I broke out a few months ago to kind of cover more broad gaming stuff. So if you want more of me, non-Nintendo, you would go to Hey Jay. And in fact, there's a blog I'll be uploading either tonight or tomorrow morning. Today I did spend 3 hours with the Switch playing a dozen games. I'm going to cover all that in a blog. And if you want to check that out, I will put my name in the chat. It's just Hey Jay with an exclamation.
You can put your link in there too, dude. And that goes for the 3 of you guys. But my man Jason just started his channel, Hey Jay. I told the dude before the stream start, we need to double his sub count tonight, dudes. He has 200. You guys will put a smile on my face if we can get 400 subscribers in about a week. I give you guys a week because this is going to be on the channel in the archives. Let's get Hey Jay some subscribers. And dudes, if you want to get his vlog on the Nintendo Switch, go over and subscribe because it's not on there yet, but it's coming, so anticipate it. All right, the homie RGT, Sean. What's up, homie?
What's good, man? You can find me over on Nintendo Enthusiasts with Jason. Definitely a lot more videos coming out now that we've got, Switch stuff coming and, going to be reviews and all that stuff. You can also find me on my personal channel, RGT85. I'll say hey in the chat. I do broad spectrum, mostly retro stuff, some Nintendo stuff, PlayStation, just whatever I feel like doing. That's kind of the motif of the channel. So that's what I do.
Yeah. And I'm a big retro dudes, and so I eat all that stuff up, man. So especially if you like retro content, check out the homie RGT85. And last but not least, Game Over Jesse. Where can we? Well, I know where we can find you, Game Over Jesse. But tell us about your channel, dude.
Yeah, the channel, youtube.com/GameOverJesse. It's mostly centered around Nintendo with a huge priority on Zelda specifically. So any analysis of new trailers that comes out, new screenshots Nintendo releases, some news, theories, just a little bit of everything focused around Zelda. Sometimes we even do a few Let's Plays, although that's not quite a priority. We're more focused on the news and stuff. So yeah, check us out. If you haven't, it's usually me and a couple of other people that I have to help host.
That's it, man. Yeah, and I like the content too, man. Zelda's my favorite gaming series, dude. And so, of course, yeah, check out the homie Game Over Jesse. And so, once again, I need everybody in the chat to just say a big thank you to Jason, Sean, and Jesse for coming on the first podcast. We had a little bit of technical difficulties at the beginning, but we got Jesse back online, and it worked out good. So don't worry, dudes. If you didn't catch all of the stream, it will be archived on the channel for you guys to check out. Dudes, and for my subscribers, I need to tell you, dudes, next week, I'm going to be out of town, dudes. Your boy's going to be in the Bahamas going on a Disney cruise with the family. Nice. But I still have content on the channel for you, dudes. And so I got your boys covered. But shout out again. I see the thank yous going up. Thank you to Jason, Sean, and Jesse. All right, dudes, it is 9:01. Timed it perfectly. Wanted to go for an hour. I will see you dudes later. Peace.